Hey everyone, Alyssa Hope here. It's been a really long time ever since I've been on camera. I can't remember the last time that I sat down and actually filmed a video like this. And since there's not a lot going on in the hockey world right now, outside of the Carlson news, I decided why not do a Q&A. So I asked you guys to submit your questions, whatever you wanted to ask me, hockey related or not. And I actually got quite a few. I really appreciate everyone who submitted their questions. And to start off, as I promised my patrons, I'm going to go over and answer Patrick K's question from Patreon. What underrated team do you think will be a dark horse this season? And my answer was the Seattle Kraken. I think they really proved themselves last year in the playoffs. And did something that we thought, they couldn't do, which was, win around, which was pretty amazing. So they've got Jared McCann, Matty Beniers, just to name a couple really dynamic forces as far as offense is concerned, and other pieces as well. What are your 5 favorite and least favorite current jerseys in the NHL? And I forgot to mention I'm going to put these on screen, so that's why I'm not saying each user, because I'm going to have it on screen so everyone knows. Anyways, I'll start with the favorites first. Pittsburgh Penguins Reverse Retro 2.0. Calgary Flames 3rd, which is a Blasty jersey. Seattle Kraken home. Arizona away. And Minnesota away. Least favorite, Tampa's Reverse Retro is the 2.0. Calgary Flames Reverse Retro 2.0. And the reason for this, I feel like most people can agree with me, but the way that the jersey is, it's like almost like a karate uniform or something that's like diagonal. That really bugs me. Carolina Hurricanes black jersey, the one with like the warning flag. Vegas Golden Knights Reverse Retro. And the New Jersey Devils Reverse Retro, and those are all 2.0. What's your top 5 favorite songs for workouts at the gym? So typically I listen to instrumental house while I'm running. It gives you like just a really high BPM, beats per minute. So usually I'm listening to that, and I'm Glitch Mob, Swedish House Mafia, groups like that. But when I'm lifting, that's when I listen to rock or pop or something like that. So my top 5 would have to be Rise by State of Mind, Stronger by Through Fire, To Be Loved by Papa Roach, that's a classic, All I Want by A Day to Remember, and Animals by Nickelback. Top 3 goalies of all time. I went with, and I'm ranking them, number 1, Patrick Waugh, number 2, Martin Brodeur, and number 3, Dominic Hasek. I feel like, I don't know, they're just like the steady 3. Like, you put them in there and it's pretty much the go-to, because the ones that I thought of Andrei Vasilevsky, but his ceiling is still like, he could still go higher. So I'm like, I don't know. And also like they've already had their careers, and won tons of awards. And also I'm thinking of Carey Price, like, if there was a top 5, I would definitely want to put Price in the top 5. But some people, they think that when I say that, they don't agree. They think he's overrated, but that's just my opinion. So this question was by Von Blade, and I want to say that because Von Blade goes back and forth with me on Twitter a lot, so I recognized this user. One hockey question: 3 players who you think should be in the Pens Raptors that aren't on the team right now. Jaromir Jagr, Paul Coffey, and Marc-Andre Fleury. And when I was thinking about it, I was actually thinking, because I've been obviously to several home Penguins games, and I'm like, dang, like there's hardly anyone in the Raptors. I was like, wait, is it only 2, right? And I was thinking, and I looked it up, and I was like, dang, like that's insane. Because the Penguins aren't, they're not a super young franchise. They're relatively, I guess, young in comparison to others, but So anyway, one non-hockey question. Will you ever move to 10K, or are you sticking with 5s? And that is in relation to running. And so my answer, So I typically run 4 miles during the work week because unfortunately I don't have a lot of time to devote to fitness like I would normally, but we do what we can. But on weekends I typically do 5. Although I'm going to start hopefully competing in some 5Ks here soon. After I get used to competing, then I'll be open to moving up to 10Ks afterwards, but I'm not sure when that will be. I am wanting to compete in a 5K that's Saturday, but we shall see. I don't know. There's a Comic-Con that very same day, and so I don't know if it'll run really close to it, and so I might not do it. I might probably wait. What are your top 3 places to travel to if you could go anywhere on a vacation? And I've got to go with Venice, Italy. I've got Italian heritage, so it just kind of was my number 1 instantly. Number 2, Amsterdam, Netherlands, because it just seems like a really romantic city. And I mean, I feel like Paris is thought that way, but I feel like it's just really overrated. But Amsterdam, I've seen so many pictures of it and it's just freaking amazing. And also my favorite flower is tulips. So they have the tulip fields there. I'd love to just tour them and just go through. It would just be amazing to do that. It'd be surreal. And this one may be a little bit of a shocker, but Vancouver, British Columbia, because, well, I'm going to talk about it here in a minute, but huge Smallville fan, and that's where it was filmed. So, and also it's just really beautiful. The whole area of Vancouver is really beautiful. What's your favorite position and favorite player in that position? Do you have a favorite non-Penguins player? Never played for the Pens, at least before you liked them. So it cut off, but I know what you meant. I think that one's tough, but I'd say goalie just because it's such an interesting position and it's very psychologically based. There's a lot of psychology that goes into it. And I'm a little psych nerd over here. So in that regard, it's very fascinating and interesting. And also, I would say the guy behind me, Marc-Andre Fleury, and non-Penguins player, Johnny Gaudreau. I was a fan of his ever since his beginning stages in Calgary of his career. So, I don't know. I've just always liked his game. He's a smaller player. And, I'm really short, so I relate. And he's also, a little nerdy and, I feel like I am in certain ways. So it's just so many ways I feel like I relate to him. Also, he's obviously American. What's your dream starting lineup, including the Tendy? A tough question. I'm probably going to mostly stick with current players here, and this is going to be probably boring. I know, but, Penguins fan here. So, Evgeny Malkin, Sidney Crosby, Mario Lemieux, Sergei Gonchar, Chris Letang, Marc-Andre Fleury. Like I said, it was boring, I know, but it's just, in all honesty, that's who I would choose. So, all-time mustaches, all-time mullets. Who wins the Game 7 series? I've got to go with mullets all the way. What is the greatest television show of all time? Hint, it's Breaking Bad. So this person's a huge Breaking Bad fan. So, got to go with Smallville. I've never watched Breaking Bad, which may be surprising, although I've heard from a lot of people that it's a great show. I've just always been a huge Smallville fan ever since I was in high school, and there's never been a show that's I've really, I guess, related to as much the main character. So for sentimental reasons, and also always like Superman. So there's just tons of reasons. The music, and the acting was really good. There's a lot of good storylines. So what are your thoughts if the Coyotes moved to Kansas City? Relieved. Although I'd be surprised if it wasn't Houston. It's not working out in Arizona due to the arena issues, obviously. What's your favorite TV show? Also, have you seen Disney's The Owl House? If not, I recommend it. Smallville, as I alluded to, then Gilmore Girls, and no, I haven't. Which Samuelson was superior? Both or and I'm gonna put the name up. Well, you already see, but I don't want to mispronounce. And I'm gonna go with Ulf Samuelsson. I've got to say, I know the guy was a really tough hockey player out there, and one that you didn't want to get hit by. But it was a little before my time when I started watching hockey. But what's your dream car? Okay, so this is a cross between a 2010 Lamborghini Murcielago and a 65 Ford Mustang GT. Watching the Women's World Cup, will the U.S. make it further than Canada? I actually saw that they lost to Sweden, so I suppose not. I'm pretty sure that they already got kicked out. So I saw Megan Rapinoe miss like this penalty shot, like it was really bad. So I'm pretty sure that they're not continuing, which is sad, but I wasn't keeping up. Like, I wasn't watching the games, but I was kind of like keeping up a little bit on social media and like seeing the games that they won and glancing at it, you know, when I was at the gym if it was on, but I wasn't like watching the games, to be honest. Have you met any NHLers? Not in person. The closest I've gotten is I video chatted with the Dutch Gretzky, otherwise known as Dale Weiss. Hoping to meet some, though, eventually. What would your 40-team league be? And what would the division and conference names be? Oh my, that's a really good question. I'd go with all the same cities, except I'd move Arizona to Houston. I'd add Quebec City, Milwaukee, Saskatoon, Anchorage, Alaska, which I feel like most people wouldn't say that, but I just think it would be very interesting. San Antonio, Portland, Baltimore, Indianapolis, and East and West, and I'd keep the names the same because in all actuality, I'm not creative when it comes to like naming things. Yeah. What is your favorite non-NHL hockey team? They say, I like the Orlando Solar Bears from the ECHL. The Wheeling Mailers, also in the ECHL. Do you think that hockey has grown in West Virginia? I would say yes. In the southern part where I live, hockey isn't really as much of a thing, but especially in the northern part of the state, I would say yes. WVU has a lot of programs for development, and the Wheeling Mailers are up north as well. What's your favorite NHL team? Mine's the LA Kings. Pittsburgh Penguins. Easy. What's your favorite LA Kings player? Philip Deneau. So I believe that concludes, yes, all of the questions. Again, I really appreciate everyone who submitted their questions, and it was fun. To be honest, though, this is probably the last video I'm going to do for the month of August unless something else comes about, because views are just really low right now, and there's not really a lot to talk about. And for me, like, I do love making videos, but I also have a full-time job, so, you know, unfortunately, it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to make videos right now because there's just not a lot of interest. But again, I wanted to have some engagement with you guys, and I think it's fun to do this. But if you really like to support me right now when, you know, things are really slow because of the season not being, you know, here right now, not yet, I'd really appreciate it. You can support me by Patreon and get perks. If you want to like actually get stuff while you're supporting me, you can do that with Fanatics. Just make sure you use my link. Also, you can do that by purchasing Liquid IV products, and you'll receive 20% off plus free shipping if you use my promo code Alyssa Hope in all caps. So there's lots of ways to support me. Buy me a coffee. Like if you enjoy my work and you just want to support me, I'm not trying to say you need to. I just want, you know, people out of the goodness of their heart that they really genuinely enjoy the content, and they're just really, you know, wanting to support me. But I don't want anyone to feel pressured like I'm a televangelist on TV asking you to give me money or something like that. Anything, yes, I will appreciate, and I'll give you a shout out when I do a video, which will be towards the end of August, beginning September. But if you're a patron, then you'll know like way ahead of time, and you'll know what I'm doing. I always tell my patrons what project is coming up. When I have the thumb ready and have the subject ready, they know sometimes over a week in advance. what I'm working on. And then, it's before it's released. So if you're a patron, then you'll know ahead of time. But thank you all for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you again that participated in this. And hopefully I'll get to do another one maybe this next off season. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.